Personal log, stardate 2641.11.16. On the upside, I've got out of garbage duty. I'm performing high priority missions for the Commodore of the most important station in the universe, and I have access to raw materials and a fully nanorobotic dockyard. On the downside, I managed to get myself stuck in a hostile galaxy with no conceivable way back home. Not quite what I was expecting for my first assignment. I've met my new bridge crew, and they look like a capable bunch. They must be if they volunteered for this mission, although I'm going to have to review the personal files of Perks and Rhea. Lieutenant Avery is still a mystery to me. She's not much older than I am, but she's calm and calculated in combat and rarely seems surprised or shaken. I'm intrigued, and I'll have to try and find out more about her past. Maybe over a drink, when things have calmed down a little. For now, however, the Artemis has left the dock at Celaeno Station with our slightly new and upgraded ship. We'll have a quick scan of the terrestrial planet here, just to see if anything there stands out. Nope, no anomalies detected. So probably just for resources. We do have a gas giant and the moon in the local system that Commodore U wanted us to investigate. So let's head there. And I think the desert planet with the moon around it is closer, so we might head there first. And there is a wormhole gateway. Oh, this must be the structure they've been discussing. Let's have a quick look at that. Because they did mention that the artifact that they found. Yeah, this must be the artifact Dr. Rama was talking about. Whoever built it must have very advanced engineering abilities. This looks surprisingly. Yeah, it's a massive artifact. That's for sure. This looks surprisingly similar to the wormhole stabilizers in a way, but obviously very alien technology, whereas the stabilizers were things of Terran make. Oh well, maybe in the future we'll find out. Maybe this thing can get us home, but for now we have a mission to fulfill, and we'll be heading over towards that desert world and see what's going on there. Okay, there is a radar outpost, so that's on the sensors. So we'll be approaching with caution, and there is a radar scout. All right, we'll take the scout on first. So and stay well outside. Make that 2 scouts. Stay well outside the range of the outpost, and we'll see if we can take the scouts on. Plasma guns are struggling to lock onto target, but we'll see if we can lead the burst a little bit and get more shots on target. But we do have to be careful. We do have to watch out with any damage to the ship. Okay, that's the first scout down. The triple plasma cannons are definitely putting in the work. Let's put the armored bulkheads towards it, and we have picked up a nanite superfluid. All right, we'll look at that in a second. But for now, we are still in combat, so let's finish off this scout there, and then we can see what we can do about this station. Slight damage to the forward plasma turret. And superfluid has a very short half-life. Crew can make use of it to effect quick repairs. Okay, so we actually picked up some nanites that we can use for impromptu repairs. Let's finish off that scout, and then we will see if we can do something about the station. All right, nano repairs have been completed. Forward guns are operational again. So let's approach the station with caution. And yeah, that is definitely that's a smaller outpost. Okay, we'll stay at maximum range and see if we can open fire with the plasma cannons, but we do need to approach somewhat closer. At least we've taken care of any mobile reinforcements, so that should allow us. Okay, we're definitely within range, so we'll open fire at the at whatever we can hit, honestly, but we do have to be yeah, we are taking significant damage in return, so we'll have to back off somewhat and get a chance for repairs. We might, yeah, we definitely need to get the forward plasma gun back operational again before we make another pass. And we'll see if we can get that outpost destroyed. Right, nanite repairs are complete. Forward plasma turret operational. So target locked, battle stations, and we'll make another pass and see if we can take it on the armor as much as possible and do whatever damage we can to the enemy station. Full energy to the plasma guns and blaze away. We definitely future projects will have to be improved forward armor. We need to armor we need to get the turrets somewhat better armored, and we need to get the general survivability organized. All right, but we have one. The station has been blown up. If we're going to regularly come under fire, we will need battle stations training as the next priority. Yes, I agree. I think some crew training on how to better deal with sparking screens and cracking support beams is going to be in order. But let's see what they've been protecting on this desert world that has been worthy of putting an actual defensive outpost in here. Let's get that scanned, and then we'll get the survey team underway. I don't have to go myself, but I can send the cadets at this point. The anomaly is a partially buried ring-shaped artifact, roughly 100 meters in diameter. While technologically advanced, the structure shows sign of a design in progress, suggesting that this was an experimental device or prototype. And Cadet Kepler from the observation station, rocks and dirt nearby have undergone zero oxidation, so it was excavated quite recently. By whom? Apparently not by us. So whoever is operating these raider ships that were guarding this planet were clearly doing some excavation by themselves. It looks a little similar to the ring structure that we found outside Celaeno Station. Cadet Gliese observes that while the structure is much too large to transport, it has gold connectors leading to what appears to be a data storage component. Okay, Cadet Gliese, engineering, get onto it. See if we can power it up. So we can pillage the gold connectors, but we'll see if we can actually get some data out of this. We have a good roll. The process turns out to be surprisingly tricky. The artifact reacts to energy from the lander in unexpected ways. With careful attention, Cadet Gliese is able to keep the power high enough to extract the data, but not damage the artifact or the lander. Well done! And with that, we have gained some crew experience as well. Data recovered from the buried ring is an exotic mathematical description of warp space, possibly a coordinate system. You could almost argue that, well, if we had found some pyramids, I would have called it a Stargate. Let's have a look at, let's move to the next planet in the system. Let's have a look at this gas giant, which is something that Commodore U wanted us to investigate. It's giving us a scan. And the gas giant has unusual pressure transition where it rises then falls before rising again at lower depth. The transition is inconsistent with the temperature gradient, and I don't have a good explanation. Okay. But we did get some research points out of it, so that's worth something. So I think we have pretty much analyzed everything in this system. So far, sensors do not show any other star systems around. So this might just be a problem with our sensors, that they're not powerful enough, or it might be that we are simply very far away from everything. But for now, let's return to Celaeno Station. Captain's log, stardate 2641.11.16. We have engaged the Red Raiders in combat, including an armed outpost, and cleared out the system. The Artemis is still sorely lacking in firepower and defensive capabilities, but my crew has conducted themselves well. Rhea has treated small bruises incurred during the encounter, and Gliese's control of the nano-repair subsystems is better than my own. We have managed to extract some data from an alien relic that was guarded by the Raider outpost, and are returning to Celaeno for further analysis. All right, let's talk to Dr. Rama and see what she has to say. I've had an opportunity to examine the object our outpost team found. Okay, that was the navigational thing. As I suspected, the nearby artifact is a wormhole generator. The object we found allows us to communicate with it. The last piece of the puzzle I deduced from your team's investigation of the buried ring. So we've got all 7 chevrons now. Coordinates are encoded as mathematical formulae describing warp space. Knowing the particular formulae for a location acts as a kind of key. My hypothesis is that if we input this formula into a wormhole generator, it will create a wormhole to a distant point in space. We, meaning you, should test this hypothesis by activating the nearby artifact and entering its wormhole. And at that point will be another gateway we can use to return. Best case scenario, yes. Worst case, you'll end up light years away and have to trek back in normal space. And I'll have the lab back to myself. Be sure to pack some extra food. Thank you, Dr. Rama, for your compassionate analysis of the situation. Let's talk to the Commodore. The archaeological team has reported their findings to me. The nearby ring artifact that Dr. Rama says can be used as a transport gateway was built by an entity or culture referenced to as the Remnants. The technology may aid us in reopening the wormhole from our side. In any event, it is far in advance of anything we have. So we do have a wormhole. It looks significantly smaller though than the one that we came in from, but it might be big enough for ship transport. We'll see. Investigate the endpoint of this gateway. If you can find the source of these red raider ships, neutralize them if possible. But our top priority is to find any similar remnant artifacts or technology. Dr. Rama seemed less than 100% certain that there would be a return gateway on the other side. Nonsense. Whatever her fault, she wouldn't have signed off on the mission if she thought the risks were too high. I think, Commodore, you're slightly underestimating the focus of interest of Dr. Rama. I think she perceives us as expendable at best and a nuisance and distraction from her work at worst. But yeah, I'm not going to say that into the face of my commanding officer. This will be all for now. Let's see how many. We've got 120 research points. So let's see what we can get. Our primary problem is resources at this point, and firepower and defense. Probably battle station training was recommended by Lieutenant Avery, and I agree. The crew is good, but they're clearly not used to shipboard operations, and they're more coming from a planetary outpost sort of area. So battle stations training might be a good one. What else can we get? Improved sensor calibration. I'm actually more keen on improving our plasma cannons as well. What can we get here? So if that would be 50, that leaves us with 70. So we could get anything except for the positron coating. Plasma coherence would be range, very useful. That would be speed. That would be turret acquisition. And that's accuracy. And positron coating would be damage. Okay, we can't do the damage. So let's get the battle station training underway. Let's research that tech. And then we can do plasma coherence for increased range of plasma weapons. Let's get that underway as well. We did pick up a bit of gold, so we might be able... Can we fit... Okay, we don't have the titanium. We only have 1 titanium. Okay, we're completely short on titanium. The gold is good for propulsion, but we are completely short on titanium, and we don't have any iridium for deflectors either. So the 2 deflectors that we've got here, could we get another? We don't have the yttrium for that either. No, we don't. So I'm thinking of. Unfortunately, this is slightly asymmetric. But I'm thinking of seeing if I can. I could transfer one of the deflectors forward, but then I don't have the sidewards. No, it's a less than ideal layout. but at least the forward plasma cannon takes the impacts from the front rather than the bridge itself. So for now, I think there's not an awful lot that we can do here, short of, I'm going to meet the crew again tomorrow, and we will head to the wormhole to be guinea pigs for Dr. Rama's theory that we can actually activate that Stargate, make our way through, and successfully come back. Going to meet up with Lieutenant Avery and see that we plan this mission appropriately and probably bring some extra provisions just in case things go sideways and we end up lost in space.